where this many people have been shot at one time, ever. It actually saddens me to some extent that we consider ourselves to be a small town, situated between Tampa and Orlando, and when stuff like this happens, it just kind of hits home with me a little bit that maybe we're not a small town anymore, and it actually is pretty sad. So, with that, to the extent I can, I will answer any questions that you guys have. So.
We always like to ask, is there a threat to the public? Is that difficult to say when it's, you think, a targeted incident, although you don't have any suspects arrested? What would you say to people who might be worried for their safety at this hour?
Sure, good question. We don't believe there's any reason that the public would need to be concerned right now. We think that the individuals in the car shot at and shot who they wanted to shoot. It was an intentional act. It certainly wasn't a random, just a drive-by shooting. And like I say, things like this just don't happen in Lakeland, but today it did, this evening it did, which is disappointing.
Can you talk about a potential second scene that we had heard, possibly West 10th Street and 98th Street?
We do not have a second scene. That's not correct.
Chief, is there some kind of drug war going on in Lakeland? I mean, it just sounds similar to what went on in Winterhaven in the last couple of years.
No, I don't think there is. It's a random act, and like I said, it's disappointing. I've been doing this I'll start my 35th year Wednesday, February 1st, and I've never seen anything like this before. I don't know if it's as a result of, I don't know what it's as a result of. I don't know. We'll figure that out, but I don't suspect there's a drug war going on. This is the first incident we've happened. Now, certainly we're going to be on hide and alert the rest of the evening, for some sort of a retaliatory act, if that comes, and then maybe we can have that conversation. Maybe it's a start of something. Certainly, our intelligence folks are working on monitoring different aspects of the social media world to find out what the chatter is, as all police departments across this country do. So, we haven't seen anything like that. So.
Piggybacking on that, neighbors out there tell us that they see traffic going to that apartment complex all the time.
Right.
As soon as it's drug related.
Right.
Was that an area that was known to the Lakeland Police Department leading up to today?
It is an area that's known. It's a challenged neighborhood. It's a lot of rental properties in there. So it's an area that we've paid quite a lot of attention to over the past years. But it's tough. I mean, it's a tough neighborhood, and like I say, there are some challenges, and the neighbors would not be incorrect. We're aware of that, and we have put a lot of resources and manpower into trying to fix that, and we'll continue to do so.
Do you suspect this could be gang related? Is it too early to make that assessment?
I think it's too early. Certainly, there's some chatter online about that, and we're certainly cognizant of that and aware of that. So I don't want to dismiss that as a possibility. It certainly may be.
Did you find any weapons, guns involved?
At the scene, I don't know if we recovered any weapons at the scene. I don't think we recovered weapons at the scene. What I can tell you is we did locate a rifle in one of the vehicles at the hospital, one of the personal vehicles that was used to transport one of the victims in plain view. So that's interesting.
No one fired back after this slow drive-by, it sounds like?
Good question. I don't know that.
We're
still trying to figure that out. So. Did
anyone fire back at these suspects? Was this
the question she just asked?
I apologize.
Yeah. No, that's fine. We don't know that.
Okay.
That's certainly a possibility. I don't want to say definitively no, and I don't want to say definitively yes.
Gotcha.
It's certainly within the realm of possibilities.
What level of cooperation are you getting from people who were on scene?
Some are cooperating, some are not cooperating. Some that have non-life-threatening injuries have decided that they don't have any idea why this happened, and some are telling us everything that they know about it, we believe. So
school lets out about that time. Did you have any school kids walking on the sidewalk in the neighborhood?
There was a school bus that had just dropped some children off in the neighborhood, probably a minute before the shooting occurred. So I don't know if those children, I don't have any indication that those kids were in the neighborhood. They had dispersed and gone to wherever they live at the time. So, but the school bus had, on the Ring video, you can see a school bus dropping, on the video that we've seen, dropping the kids off, and then shortly after that, the car comes through and the shooting occurs.
And
within a minute.
Back off that, I mean,
terrible, absolutely horrific. So I'd say I've been doing this for 34 years, starting my 35th year, and I've never, ever seen, not in Lakeland. This just doesn't happen in Lakeland, but today it did, so, which is disappointing.
This is a block from Florida Avenue, major thoroughfare. With the threat of retaliatory shootings out there, what is being done to kind of protect the public at large?
I don't think it's a block from Florida Avenue. It's a block from Memorial Boulevard and maybe a couple blocks from Florida. That's a main thoroughfare, yeah.
I meant Lakeland, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, yes, sir. Yeah, major thoroughfare, yeah. I'm sorry, I just wanted to be accurate on my answer. We certainly will have extra patrols out tonight, and we'll have, like I said, we've got 15 detectives that will work all night long if that's what it takes to figure this out. We certainly would like to identify the folks that were in that vehicle. We'd like to locate that vehicle. For those of you that know me, and I know quite a few of you that are sitting around here, this is not typical for us. We typically don't call a press conference at 7 o'clock at night. I mean, Kim, you've been following us for a long time. How many press conferences have we called at 7 o'clock on a Monday night? So we are taking this very seriously, and that's why I'm standing up here in front of you today, because we want to locate this vehicle and locate the folks that were in that vehicle. It's very important that we do both of those.
And that ring video, I know it's part of the investigation. Will we be able to share that with the public so they can
Sure.
recognize?
Yeah, at some point we will get you some video. As I said, I looked at a ring video 30 seconds before I walked down here, and that was the first video I saw. So let me give my detectives some time to digest that, and we will certainly get you out. Robin will put it in a Dropbox, or we'll certainly, I don't know if it'll be tonight, but we will get that to you as quick as we can get it to you. So, and I apologize for the quality of the video, the photograph. That's the best we could come up with right now. So, and we tried 2 or 3 different things. So, but this is trust me, the other ones look much worse than this one. So, all right.
Chief, I know it's early. We don't know the exact details of what went on, but we did have a situation today where legislation was introduced that would allow permitless carry of concealed weapons.
Sure.
Can you talk about that in relation to this, or incidents like this? Would it make it harder for your officers to investigate?
Yeah, I could talk about it. I don't want to. I understand your question, but I'll let the legislators legislate, and I'll be the police chief for today. So we'll just leave it at that. So.
Any indication of how many spent rounds? You guys counted preliminarily?
They're in the process of doing that. I can tell you a lot. So.
Are you expecting this to be like high power rifles, or?
We've identified at least 2 different calibers, at least a .223, which is a rifle round, and a 9mm. So there may be other calibers as well. So.
The victims involved, can you kind of characterize what they were doing, kind of where they were positioned? We hear that people play craps out there or gather out there.
They do. They were sitting outside on the sides of each side of the roadway, and we will have to find out exactly why they were sitting out there. Like I said, we did locate a quantity of marijuana that was, I think it was somewhere on the roadway that was secreted, that was hidden. So I would suspect I probably have a pretty good idea of what some of them were doing. I'm not saying all of them, but there was probably some of that going on. But some may have just been out enjoying the evening as well. So
the shots were at kind of the sidewalk area, not the
both sides of the street.
Got it.
Have you established a relationship between all of the victims yet in the process of that?
They're doing that now. They may be able to establish that relationship between the. I don't know. That's they're still in the process of. Obviously, the first priority was to get them treated, and then once we can get them stabilized and treated and get an interview with them, find out, do they live in the area, were they visiting, why they were there. So to the extent they'll tell us.
Were they all like hanging out in the same lawn, on the same porch?
Both sides of the street, yes, ma'am.
But every indication is that this was some kind of drug situation,
I think it has some aspects of that, yeah. I don't know that all the folks that were shot were that way, and I don't want to characterize that because I don't know. I do find it interesting that there's a felony amount of marijuana located there, and so but we can draw some conclusions, but it's still a little bit early yet. So.
And
go ahead.
well, this may be way too soon to tell, but I mean, gun violence in general. Do you guys have a solution to preventing these and stopping these kind of shootings?
I'm being very careful with my answer. there are things that have been tried all over the country, and if I had a solution to it, I probably wouldn't be standing here. I would sell it to every police chief in the nation, and we would all implement that. So I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all. Maybe what works in Lakeland may not work in New York, it may not work in Boston, but it works here in Lakeland. So we have a very good police department here. We have guys and gals that work very hard to keep the streets safe and the city safe, and we have a very safe city. That's why this is so shocking and jarring, I guess, for me personally, because, like I said, I've not witnessed anything to this extent, this magnitude. Now, some of the injuries are minor; they're ricochets, and they're not serious injuries. But anytime you have that many rounds fired and that many people that were in jeopardy, and the kids, or I mean, who knows where some of those rifle rounds were going? I mean, we may not ever be able to locate exactly how many houses all those rifle rounds went through. So, but we're going to make every attempt. So. That's the concerning part for me, is that I know how hard that all these guys and gals that put this uniform on every day, not just in Lakeland but all over, come to work every day with the idea of keeping everybody safe. And then when something like this happens, it kind of is a jarring reminder that this is a serious business, and people can get hurt and officers can get hurt, and obviously we had 10 people hurt today.
I don't know if this was reported, but one of the neighbors said that he heard 3 shots at that same location yesterday. Was that on your radar?
I don't know. I haven't heard that. It's the first time I've heard that. That's certainly, he could have reported it. If he reported it, we can certainly let you know that. So I'm unaware of that. So.
Does it appear all 10 victims were targeted, or could some have been caught in the crossfire?
Yeah, they could have been caught in the crossfire. They could have been, just randomly sitting out, enjoying the evening, and we don't know yet. We're still trying to sort through all that. So, anything else? You got it? Thank you, guys. Sorry for the short notice, but we wanted to get this out to you as quickly as we could get it out to you. So, if there's any follow-up questions, we'll certainly do what we can tonight. They're going to be very busy through the rest of the evening, but we'll be available to you tomorrow. I don't know that we'll have any updates tonight. If we make an arrest, we'll let you know. So, I know everybody will be waiting on us all night long, right? So, that's much okay.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, guys. All right. And I'll leave this so you guys can do with it what you want, or try to make better copies of it, or just share it, or whatever. Oh, you may hold it up? Is it better if I hold it on the side or the top?
Probably the side. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
The suspects are 4 black males.
They are 4 males that we have some indication that they may have been wearing masks, so I don't want to classify their race yet. But some of them, at least some of them, may have had some sort of a facial covering. I should have told you that. I forgot. You guys didn't ask. I forgot. I don't have it on my sheet here mentioned, but I think they did have some sort of a facial covering. Some of them, anyway. All right. Got it? Got it? You get it? All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. With who?
With him at Pacheco.
He does not speak Spanish. He's Portuguese.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Steve, do you speak Spanish that I'm unaware of? I'm not really sure he speaks English very well, to be honest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, is Jason downstairs? If we have a Spanish-speaking lieutenant, would that be helpful? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, see if he's downstairs, if he can come up.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, we'll try to get you what you need.